Here is an example of a function and for loop in Python. And the question is, what is the output of this code? Okay, so as you can see, we have a case of defining a function here as simple as this. So using def, we define functions that is named select, and it has one argument, I. So we need to make sure that you have the colon at the end. And then this function, what it does is whenever it's called, it grabs the argument or the parameter I, and then it would return I modulo 3, which means the remainder of dividing I by 3 is reported back. For example, um, if 5 is the number, if I is equal to 5, then it will return 5 modulo 3, which means 2. Okay, so that is the meaning of this function. Now, the main program is here. We are running a for loop in Python in which we say for x in range 10. When we call this range 10, it will return numbers from starting from 0 and then 1, 2, 3, up to 9, not including 10. So 10 numbers like this are looped through. So for x in this range, meaning that first set x equal to 0, then set x equal to 1, and for each of them check this. Inside the for loop, we're running an if statement. If x modulo 5, basically if the remainder of dividing x by 5 is equal to 0, so it means that if x is divisible by 5, then print call function select for the value of x. Okay, so when we are looping x over these 10 values, of course, the only one that would be divisible by 5, basically the x modulo 5 for them will be 0. The only choices you have would be either 0, that one will satisfy this if statement, or after 3 we have 5. So 5 is also the next choice that when we are looping through x, then when it gets to 5, 5 modulo 5 is 0. So only for 0 and 5, this if statement is satisfied, and we get to the print statement. And when we do that, we are printing, so once we are printing select 0, and once we are printing select 5. We don't get to this print statement for any other number. So print select 0, of course we call this function select 0, returns 0 modulo 3, which means 0. So as a result, we're going to print 0. And then when it gets to print select 5, it will call this function I equal to 5, return 5 modulo 3, and that would be the remainder of dividing 5 by 3, which is 2. So therefore, when we run this function, this for loop, calling this function, the outcome would be just 0 and then 2. So 0, 2 are printed. Hope this example of Python function and for loop is helpful.